Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, and in today's reformer workout, ladies, we're going to specifically target the PMS and cramps that we get during our menstrual cycle. So I put together some light stretches, a light workout per se for us to do this once a month and help to alleviate some of the discomfort. So I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment, and I will make those recommended spring setting for those that are working on a different model at home. For those that are new, welcome. I have over 35 different apparatus workouts here on the channel, so feel free to check those out. And for those that are looking to become a Pilates instructor, who want to enhance their Pilates practice, I'm a master trainer. Function Pilates has its own teacher training program. I would love to talk more about how you can get started. And for those that have been thinking about becoming a business owner, want their own Pilates studio, Function Pilates is a groundbreaking franchise in the nation. So please go ahead and contact me for details on how you can open up your own studio with the help and guidance of me in your area. I'm going to link everything in that description box below, including some other recommended workouts that are similar to this when it might be that time of the month. So for those that are just ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin by setting ourselves up for footwork. So whatever you're feeling like today, let's go with that. I have on a little bit medium to heavy springs on, which is 2 reds, a green, and a yellow spring. But if you feel like you want to do something a little lighter, more on the medium level, feel free to do that. And then let's go ahead and start by pulling our knees in towards our chest for that bear hug. And the goal here is to imprint the spine, that low back, that sense of tightness that we tend to feel. So think about really elongating the low back and stretching it as you hug those knees in towards the chest. Maybe adding some circles there from those hip joints to stretch out those hip sockets and just get some more movement. The movement does actually help, even though sometimes we may not feel like we want to move. But yes, once we get those muscles loosened up and those joints loosened up, things will start to feel better. So just focus on breath. Stretch those legs up. Let's do a nice little happy baby. So soft bend at the knees. Again, encouraging your low back to press into the mat here. Maybe flex those feet. Pull those a little bit more if that feels good for you today. Just a gentle rock back and forth to just massage out that low back. And place those feet back to the foot bar here and hold on to those pegs, and we'll go in for a Piriformis stretch there. So left ankle over right knee, and windshield wipe those legs over to the right as you look to the left. And focus on that big breath in. So inhale through the nose and exhale from the mouth. Let's take it to the other side. So right ankle over that left knee, just let those legs fall over, looking to your right, just really opening up the entire side of your body here. And just releasing those tight muscles, encouraging more breath. And let's come up to the center. From this position, let's go ahead and take our arches of our feet in the very center of that foot bar and begin with our footwork here, gently pressing out for an exhale and inhale to bend those knees. Keeping those knees glued together, and just feel the pressure in the bottoms of your feet pushing against that foot bar. Think of those knees going all the way straight up towards the ceiling as you control the carriage here. Exhale pushes you out, inhale to return. Beautiful. Let's move it down to your toes, elevate those heels, drop them under, lift them up. Let's bend the knees to come back in. So we're getting that nice calf stretch here as you go through these singular calf raises. The emphasis is on the way up. The control is on the way down. That's it. Just keep stretching those arms, palms are flat, and really opening wide through that collarbone and that chest. Good. Lift those heels and return to pull back in again. Beautiful. And then from here, let's take it into a wider position. So take the heels on opposite corners, turn out. And in this turnout, you can even go a little wider today, just to really open up those hip sockets if that feels good for your body. Try to minimize the movement of your ankles as you stabilize through those ankles and help to create strength through the ankle mobility and through your knees. Beautiful work here. And doing the best you can to feel as if those ribs are expanding on your inhale, and as you exhale, as if they were funneling back together. We'll come back to our heels, and then go ahead and set up for single leg here. So left heel is on. Just go ahead and push out as you pull that right knee in towards the chest, and really focus on opening up through that left hip. And just pause as you hold that static position. We'll do this a couple times. And come back in. Beautiful. Set that right foot up. Let's draw that left knee in towards the chest. Hug it in real nice and deep as you push out with your right heel. Again, think of stretching the back of that right knee. Good. Trying to relax through those shoulders. Beautiful. And return and come back in. Good. So toes are on. We'll take it in for prances, so about hip distance apart there. And alternate it from one leg to the next, dropping that heel down, softening through the opposite knee. And just focus on your breath here. No right or wrong way. You just focus on breathing. Trying to stabilize through our hips. Just take an extra stretch here if your body needs it today. And gently pull right back in. Great. So we're going to take that headrest down all the way flat. And make sure you have some wiggle room off your shoulder blocks. Let's go ahead and open those knees off to the side. So soles of your feet are together, more in this butterfly position. Just give it a nice little stretch through those inner thighs. And then taking a moment to focus on that breath once again. Inhaling to feel those ribs expand. It's as if your fingers were reaching away from each other. And as you exhale, your ribs pull in and your fingers draw right back in towards that midline. Rest it beside you. And then from here, let's bridge those hips up. Nice and gentle there. Just swivel your knees from right to left and then lower the body down. So not allowing your body to come up very high, but a bridge to a comfortable position, and just let those knees swivel back and forth. Just feel the weight of your low back releasing. Good. Trying to keep the soles of your feet together. Nice easy breaths here. Just starting to feel a little bit lighter. And release. Just feeling those abs pull in if you can today. Again, it's all about stabilization. And then return those knees back in. Let's go ahead and sit ourselves up here. And we're going to change out our springs to about 1.5 for our feet in straps. So if you didn't have your loops on, go ahead and put those on. And then taking the loops into our arches of our feet. One leg at a time, stretching up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a nice little deep hamstring pull there as you tug on those ropes. flex those feet, pull those toes towards you. It really is all about stretching, and our bodies will totally thank us, even though a lot of the times we don't want to do that. And then carefully ease into your tick-tock here. And as you're easing into this tick-tock, you're just lowering the legs and lifting, but feel this sense of groundness. Feel this sense of your tailbone rooted into that carriage to promote a deeper stretch in the back of the legs, to promote a deeper stretch in your low back. And for even more of it, you can always flex your feet so you can pull your toes towards you as you lift those legs to get a deeper hamstring stretch. Beautiful, nice and controlled movements. And then take it into your circles. So if you like wide circles and that feels really nice on your body, your hip sockets, those joints, go ahead and take them. But again, just pay attention to what's happening in your pelvis. If you're shifting too much, minimize the circle. It doesn't have to be that wide. But specifically for this workout, our goal is to really just lubricate, stretch as much as possible. Yes, we're gonna work out to feel, that we're getting stronger in our bodies internally. But it's really about feeling good and going on with our day. Perfect. Reverse when you're ready. Sweeping it around. Good. Sometimes this one might feel a little bit harder, so if you need to minimize your circle as we switch up the direction, you can. Especially for those that have a heavier flow or just stronger cramps, sometimes smaller range of motion might be a little bit easier for you to avoid extra discomfort. Perfect. And then let's take it to frog here. So heels together, toes apart. And then allow those knees just to pull deep into your chest. Again, the goal here would be to feel that stretch in our back, to feel that stretch in our hips. And if it means that you need to go a little wider with the knees to release some of that tension, feel free to do that too. Perfect. Keeping those heels hugging together. And then slowly finishing it off. One last stretch here into that happy baby, just swaying back and forth. Take one more butterfly stretch with the soles of the feet together, knees apart, and just breathe. Just relax. And then we'll carefully go ahead and take our feet back to the ceiling there, and one at a time come off to find the foot bar. Perfect. So let's come up to a standing position. And we're going to set ourselves up for another hip flexor and hamstring stretch. So you can reduce that spring tension if you'd like, just to one spring. And then take it into your lunge here. So right foot's against that shoulder block, left foot's on the floor. Make sure that your knee is lining up directly over your ankle, that your knee is not shearing anywhere forward over the toes here. And then take it into another deep stretch here. Chest is lifted, so don't lean over your leg or the foot bar. You want to keep your chest high to really open up that hip flexor and stretch deeply. Perfect. Once you're ready, take it into that hamstring stretch. So now the left leg just stays straight, but then our goal here is to keep our hips squared. So think of your left hip moving back and your right hip moving forward, just to level out those hips more. Try that again. Shoulders are down. And carefully return and come right back in. Good. One more time. See if you're going out a little bit further. Perfect. And then let's take it here to the other side. So left foot up against the shoulder block. Again, that right foot's on the floor, making sure your right knee is directly over the ankle here. Keeping that chest up, arms straight, shoulders back. Perfect. Think of tucking your tailbone under to enhance the stretch a little further. And return and come all the way back in. So from here, we're going to go right into that hamstring stretch once again. So pressing back, hips are squared. This time the left hip, you want to encourage it to go forward as you pull back on that right hip. Good. And breathe. Trying to keep a flat back and avoid rounding through your spine. Perfect. Another deep breath and return yourself all the way back in again. Okay. So from here, we're going to place that foot bar down all the way into a cat stretch. So make sure there's nothing on the ledge there. If you need to pillow up with a towel or some sort of cushion, go ahead and do so. And then in all fours, we're going to begin to round out that spine, drop your head down, look between the knees, and then extend the spine to lift that tail and your chest up. Make sure you're about hip distance apart there so your knees are separated and your wrists are underneath your shoulders. But just going through these nice, flexible movements to again stretch out that spine, that low back, and even through the belly here. Just feeling that stretch. Beautiful. And really focus on contracting, so really scooping that belly up. As we contract those muscles, they get a chance to heat up and release to provide a little bit more ease on the discomfort. All right, so after that child's pose position, you can take your foot bar back up again. And we're about on a red and a blue here with balanced body. So 1.5 springs for your elephant. And then stabilize that upper body. Again, I want to really try to be more in extension or neutral spine. So not really rounding out my spine, just because it's going to feel like you're getting that deeper hamstring stretch. And then focus on opposition. So it's as if your tailbone is lifting up towards that ceiling as you are anchoring and pressing your heels in towards the mat. Good. Let's drop it down to plank if that feels good for you. Otherwise, continue with elephant. You can totally skip this today, or you can add it in if that feels good for you. But the purpose here is that we're going into this full body exercise to warm up the entire body in plank. But just a gentle ease into it. Just a gentle hold and back up. Nice. Good. If you can hold that, challenge yourself, focus on your breath. go ahead and we're holding it for a good 10 seconds here at least. If you can do more today, feel free to do more. And then return all the way back in. Beautiful. So carefully sitting back down on your carriage here for our mermaid and seated rotation. I'm going to stay on a red spring, so just one spring. As you interlace your hands with that loop, think of your body lifting up as you spiral and rotate to the left here. So you're not pulling with your arms, the rotation is occurring through the spine. Elbows are nice and wide. And try to keep that chest lifted the entire time so that we're getting through that oblique work here. You should feel those internal, external obliques here firing. If this is too heavy on that one spring, you can always go down to a half spring, so a lighter weight. And then easing into our mermaid, so left hand to the foot bar, stretch it on over, and return back to the top. So as you stretch over, focus on the in between the ribs, shining up towards the ceiling, separating here. Again, promoting elongation through the torso. If it feels good to add rotation today, take that rotation, open those hands out nice and wide, maybe add a little bit of extension. So you're lifting that chest as you drag your body forward, inhaling and exhaling. Perfect. And carefully return and come back in. All right, ladies, let's turn ourselves around. Zigzag those legs so your shin is completely supported against the shoulder blocks. Let's grab a hold of that loop as we interlace both hands there, shoulders down. Let's take an exhale to rotate. Inhale to pull forward. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, return center. Good. If you aren't able to zigzag the legs here, you can always crisscross them, or you can have your legs straight out, or you can also sit on a box. Perfect. Shoulders stay down with that rotation. Nice. And then hanging up that strap and take it into mermaid. Push yourself away, becoming parallel to the floor here. Nice and slow. Let's return back to the top. And take an exhale to stretch and reach. Inhale to return. On that next one, if it feels good to add rotation, go ahead and take that. Make sure your hands go nice and wide. Look to the floor, and then take an inhalation as you lift that chest, drop those shoulders, really shine that heart towards the wall. Perfect. Take an exhale to lower that chest down. Inhale to lift. Reorganize your hands there through center and then return and come all the way back up again. Perfect. So we'll step on off and we're going to go ahead and grab our box, set ourselves up for our Swan Prep. So long ways with the box up against the shoulder blocks. And then we can keep ourselves on that spring that you were already on so we don't have to make any adjustments. And make sure your feet are separated as you lie on your stomach. As you push out, take another lift up with the chest and then bending your elbows to come right back in. So we push out to straight arms. We lift the chest to drop those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to return down, softening those elbows. It's important to make sure that your legs are feeling energized and that they're separated so that we're not compressing the spine. As it is, we already have that tightness, that stiffness, that discomfort in the low back. So the separation of the legs is going to help contribute with opening it up here. Beautiful. Again, another inhale to lift that chest, stretching out that low back, and lowering the chest to exhale and return. Lovely. Go ahead and step yourself off here, guys. All right, let's finish it with a couple roll downs. Hip distance apart, sweep those arms up, take a dive straight down. Take into consideration how you're feeling, hopefully a lot better. Round yourself back up to standing tall, and we'll do one more. Lift those arms up, dive it forward. Thanks, ladies, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this workout. Hit a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I will see you next time.